everybody. Sorry, I already got started. Let me paste in my tweet so that you can see what today's theme is. Sorry I missed you guys yesterday. I had some errands to run. There's a lot of overdue things that I should have been doing, like getting an oil change and fixing some shoes. I think they call him the peddler. I went to a peddler yesterday to fix some shoes. It's one of those things that you don't really see too much anymore. And actually, speaking of that, my shoes will be done by this afternoon, so I gotta go walk over there. Hey, Bonch. Hey, thanks for swinging by again. You're always the first one. Really happy to have you here on the broadcast. Thanks for always saying hi. Let me get this in focus. Thanks. How's your music going? Okay, so we got the drums going. Let's go ahead and continue this on a bit. Let me see something. What if I extended this back? Okay, so I want to make this 16 bars, and this isn't the prettiest of patterns, I realize. Let's make sure we can get a good 16 bar loop that's interesting enough and not so repetitive. I have a little ulterior motive for today's theme. Today you are in a dramatic scene. I've been tasked to score a sizzle reel for an actor. And I don't have too much time before I leave on a little long-term trip, so I want to get started right now. Let's see. Let's get this drum loop going first, and then, you know, I'm really liking this dramatic low drone right here. Okay, let's get this first 8 bars. Am I hearing a double hit over here? let's get all right, so I think we got the first 8. Let's get to 16 now. Okay, so I think here we can, let's duplicate these last ones and then we'll do a little bit of variation so it's not the exact same. Uh-oh, okay. Let's get this last 8. I'm gonna just loop it for right now. Let's see if a lot of kicks over here. Yeah, that might actually kind of work out. I need that last one. All right. I like that little roll. Yeah, cool. Okay. So what I think we can do here is I'm going to pull the chance down to maybe like, 60%. Or let's just do it to 50%. So every time it loops, there's a 50% chance we'll get that. That third kick. And since this is a 16-bar loop, we won't hear it that often throughout the song, I don't think. Okay, so I think that's a good basis for our rhythm. Just want to make sure that we've also included. I wonder if here we can do a little bit of a roll. Yeah. Actually, I like this little roll better over here. No, maybe this goes here. Yeah. Well, we could think about that rim shot. Hey, aloha. How's it going, Darren? Oh, nice. I was reading, I'm a lurker on one of your forums, on the CliffX forum. And the pull bar music might be better. Anyway, Darren, nice to see you. I did see a sunset on that, on one of the isotonic, CliffX forums. And it did look like you were at the beach, and I was like, that doesn't look like England to me, or at least in my mind. I don't think I've ever been to the coast in England, but that's where you are, in Mexico. Nice. I hope you're enjoying it. Are you in Cancun or Mazatlan or something like that? Anyway, looks epic. Enjoy that. And hey, what are you doing watching me on your vacation? Really appreciate it. Oh, hey, Enjoy Being. Thanks for lurking. Happy to have you here. Hey, I'm gonna be taking the couple months off. Darren, I don't know if you ever make it down to France, but I'll be down in France for a few months. And yeah, I'm still looking for some gigs down there. Contacted a bunch of people, some Ableton folks as well, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, if I make it up to England, I'll have to give you a shout. Maybe we can have a beer or something. Oh yeah, no problem. Enjoy Being. Great stream, by the way. All right. Let's continue on with this. I know we're spending a little bit more time than usual on this drum beat, but we've got 16 bars, and we programmed it mainly within a clip. But what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to let's continue on with this with the rhythm. I'm gonna do the rest of the programming on the TR-8S over here. Let me see if I could point the camera so you have a better angle of what I'm doing. Sorry, I have a pretty messy desk here, so. along with the decapitated robot. Let's add some 808 closed hats. I'm gonna make this a little polyrhythmic by putting the last step at 15. So you're not gonna hear this open hat at the same exact time. Maybe, let's see. Let me copy this over to another. Let's get this little bit of a hand clap here every so often. Actually, let's put this on this section right here. So we got some polyrhythms going on here. Speaking of polyrhythms, Isotonic Studios has this great polyrhythmic I guess it's a Master Live device that hooked up to the Akai Fire, but as of right now you have to use Live 10 to use the Fire. But that was my favorite polyrhythmic machine because everything was visual. Along the 4 tracks over here. Okay, I'm just kind of adding some delay and reverb to some of these percussive elements. To give it a kind of a more dramatic, cinematic kind of feel. All right, this is sounding pretty good. All right, and now just to kind of top it all off, I'm just going to be looping this two bar loop here on the TR-8S. I'm going to add in ride cymbals here. There we go. All right, that's sounding pretty cool to me. I'm gonna record this in. So I'm gonna have to get my MIDI input from the TR-8S here, and then I'm just gonna start recording this. Once we have this track armed, then I could just press record on the push. And because we're getting MIDI from the TR-8S, it's gonna push all of that MIDI information into this clip. Including all of the weird polyrhythmic elements. And then now, once we have it in this view, then we're able to edit it a little bit. You know, like for example, I don't want some of these percussive elements to go to sound while the kick drum or the snare is sounding, for example. There we go. Okay. Cool thing, I think that sounds kind of cool just on its own. So we have to remember that for a break. So you see that we're a little bit off in quantization. That's because I'm it introduces a little bit of latency, and I'm on a buffer size of 128. So let's go ahead and quantize this to the 16th note. And one thing I will have to do is bring this over here. And like with these claps, like for example, I'm gonna you know, let's see what this would sound like. Actually, what I gotta do now is I'm gonna clear all my other all the parts on the TR-8S itself, so I don't hear the doubling. And what I've learned also is I gotta put the MIDI, take the MIDI from off the TR-8S, otherwise it has a tendency to crash. Let's see how this hand clap. Oh yeah, that's cool. I really like that. Okay, let's get back to 16th notes. Wait. Okay, there we go. Where is my hand clap? Oh, okay, it's right here. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, over here on this bar 12, I'm gonna bring in another clap roll right here before the snare. Okay, let's also make sure that none of these guys are on the... Okay, so this one I'm just gonna move this. I want to have some space between some of these sounds. Yeah, this one as well, we'll move that up a couple. here, maybe a couple. Let's see. I'm gonna bring in this little 808 symbol here at the beginning. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Hola, Deliam Vicio. How's it going? Hey, you know what's so funny? It's, do they call that Pavlovian? But every time I see your name, it makes me think, oh, I better save. So thanks for those reminders, and I'm gonna go ahead and save this now. Wait, where am I? Just a quick programming note. I'm gonna be stopping the stream from the middle of this month all the way through July, working on some projects and some performances. So, let's see, we're in May, right? May 6th. All right, so we don't know what we're gonna do right now, but I'm thinking I'm going to, well, let's not save yet then. Or should we commit? What? Okay, we won't save quite yet. I want to make sure we're in the right key. Let's see. I think we'll be in D, and maybe Locrian. There was a scale. I love the Scalar app, even though I hardly ever use it. But one of the things that I really like about it is it gives you kind of a little rundown on how some of these chords sound. So Lydian, I like Lydian, or Lydian. Let's try this. And they describe this as hopeful, dreamy, yearning, and ethereal. And that is sort of what I'm looking for. So, so it's gonna sound like this. Okay. We don't want this arpeggio. Kind of sounds a little cinematic. Rewiring USB and power adapter. Nice. What are you doing that for? Is it just a repair for something that's broken, or are you doing it for to modify one of your synths? Okay, so this is very low. I need to, but I like how it sounds. There we go. That sounds like D to me right here. All right, yeah. Here we go. I'm wondering, while we're at it, what happens? No. Now let's get back to the texture synthesizer here. Takes a couple seconds. Oh, nice. Did you get anything, any new synthesizers or any fun gadgets? All right, so while we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and start recording this. Okay. Let's record this drone in D. I want the drums to be down a little bit so I can hear what I'm doing. Ooh, nice. Which wasp filter did you get? The Dope for Eurorack? Nice. When we're done with this, maybe we could patch something up with the wasp filter. more sweep. All right, that was a little too much. Let's let that ring out. Now we've got this really low rumbling. Okay, so the wasp. Let's see. Let's see if we can oops. Let me lower that volume. There we go. Let me make sure we're in D. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's the wasp filter. Let's see if I could zoom in. You see it right here? This yellow one? Let me focus it a bit. There we go. Okay. So great thing, the thing that I love about this is how crazy it gets in some frequencies. Like right there. So right now I just have a Platts drone going into Wasp, and actually what might be nice is if we combine the two drones. Let's go ahead and actually while we're experimenting, why don't we just go ahead and just start recording? It's just got this really crazy resonance. Actually, I'm gonna bring this one down so we don't get confused of what all is going on. Because right now, it's kind of a dead spot in the frequency. I got the mix all the way up now. You hear that? Like, and that's just the filter. See that? Ooh, right there. Right here. It's that sweet spot. It's just got that a little growl, and this isn't really the right noise to bring it through. If you bring in a bass, you really hear it become like really gritty. Right here. Right here. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was blocking. Let's just bring that down for now. Okay. Let's see how this sounds combined. With some of the drums. All right, we're in a different scale now. Let's bring in a bass line. Something like that. All right, so we are also in the middle of a couple scales. Sorry, of different root keys. So let's use a VST to get us into the right. That's D right there. I'm gonna have this play a D. Just to get us. Sorry, let's go lower. It's hard to. Hold on, let me go up an octave just to make sure we're. There we go. Actually, it doesn't sound bad an octave up. So I'm gonna go down minus 22. Let's see on this one. Let's get a tuner in here. Oh, we're actually above. Yeah, still above, but almost there. Oh, there we go. We're pretty much on D with this one. I'm gonna go up a couple cents. There we go. Yeah, close enough right there. All right, it's a drone, so it's okay if it kind of wobbles a little, wobbles between keys. All right. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a sequence here. Let's quantize this to eighth notes. See if this is gonna work out for us. And I know it was a little hot up there, but Yeah, how about this? Let me go get a drink of water real quick while this is going. All right, the other day I dropped this whole entire glass of water in my studio. I don't know why I'm playing with fire again, but let's go through this. I'm liking this. And I don't mind this very typical sound that I tend to use. It's a little 8-bit sound on the Arturia pigments. I want to give some space over here. Maybe we can do something like that too. Okay. So I got just a separate clip with that. There we go. Okay. We don't need to loop that. I don't think we need to loop that. I like the sound as is. I'm not going to do any tweaking to this VST. We have the we have it baked into our set, which is not saved yet. So let's go ahead and do that. So now that we have a key and scale, today is the 6th. We're in D, Lydian, or Lydian. And we are at 130.5, so I'm just going to put it 131. And let's look at today's theme. You are in a dramatic scene. Okay, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and record this. You know, we could always change this up. That's the nice thing about having a VST and having everything in MIDI is we can always change up the sound. I'm gonna Okay, and now let's also get this one on the same clip. There we go. Let's see if we can get a... He's better in the back in the mix. Okay, so since we're kind of being dramatic today, maybe what we do is, let me duplicate this VST. I'm wondering if we bring in some like real symphonic type instruments to, actually let's do it like this, to make this more cinematic like. So, maybe, okay, to be safe, let's just bring in complete control. Let's bring something in like action strikes or something. Rise and hit. I thought I had action strikes on here. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's see. We could just bring in a couple of these samples and then just bring them in as we want. And how about this? Oh, I like these odd rhythms. Now we're getting really odd. So let's get back to our... All right. I'm just gonna call this action strikes, and we got, oh, do we not? Okay, no, we got it. I thought for some reason we, hey, how's it going, Shabbles? Scabbles, Shabbles? Okay, I'm gonna take that off. I'm just gonna call this action strikes. Actually, I should remember what, kit we were using. Heavy orchestra. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and also duplicate that again. And hey, cuz, how's it going, Ryan? All right. So the other thing I'm gonna do to make this a little more cinematic. Actually, Ryan, you'll like this. I'm doing making something a little more dramatic and cinematic. Okay, so let's get out of action strikes and use something like maybe action strings. Although this has been kind of used a bit. You know what? I'm gonna use some of these new UJam plugins that I got. These strings. Okay. Now, I hardly ever use these plugins, but it might be fun to kind of now I think I can get into my key right here. This doesn't really go with what I'm looking for, but Maybe this could just kind of go with our drone. Since these are just kind of like sampled instruments, I'm gonna go through a couple different ones. All right. Well, we've got a few things here. Let's see. I'm just gonna call this U-Jam strings random. See if we can fit those in our song. Meanwhile, we don't want to lose sight of our lead over here. This is our Pigments lead. We can probably loop this part right here. And then let's loop this right here. We can actually have a couple of different loops. Okay, I don't want to get too crazy on this, but kind of get the idea, right? All right. Maybe we can get... Oh, is it a little quiet? Okay. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I think my levels are pretty low, so let's go ahead and raise them over here as well within the live set. You know why my headphones are... Oh my god, no wonder my headphones were at the max on the Babyface, which could have been a disaster once I moved over to another app. Okay, let's go ahead and... There we go. Okay, so this is going to be kind of like... Okay, this is a weird 17-bar loop, but we're gonna go with it. Delhi NVCO we saved. Bring the drums over here for now. I can't help it, but I need some synth bass. Okay, let's come up with a little bass line. We'll do a little bit of sound design as well, but for now, oh yeah, okay, that works. That might give it a little bit of a different feel. Want these notes to be a little shorter. Okay, let's do a little bit of sound design on this. Let's see. Oh, good save. Thanks, Dalian VCO. Oh yeah, it's a little... Let's unsync these oscillators too. Okay. Hold on a second. I need to send a quick message. All right, let's record this in, just as is. Yeah, I don't want too much movement going in on that bass, so I'm gonna just let it go as is, and we'll work with that for now. And then I think we could kind of thicken up this bass with a little micro pitching. Let's see. Okay, since we're talking about power outlets, let me zoom out and I'll show you. So, okay. I mean, these are just the ones that are going with the synth, but I've got two switchable, and I really recommend if you've got a bunch of synths to, let me first press save in case I accidentally unplug something, to get these power switches. So these are just the ADJ power switches. They're all in the back. They've got 8 outlets each, and I could easily turn on whatever device that I want here. So there's 16 here. I've got the pile version here, which is a little cheaper, but you know, with gear, you don't really want to get super cheap. But pile, this has actually been pretty good. Actually, now you can look at it from this side. So there's 9 power outlets here. And then I've got another pile. This one doesn't have the switches on it, but this is the PCO 865. And I want to say that there's 19 outlets behind here. And I've got them all on those squids. And then I've also got 3 in the front. And then it's got 2 USB cables on there. And then that's about it. And then I've got the lights set up on their own power grid, as well as the monitors, because, you know, monitors could also sometimes introduce some noise. And yeah, that's about it. So 9 plus 8 plus 8 plus 19. But, you know, of course, not everything is on, or, well, actually, most of the things are on. That's the nice thing about having these power switches, is I could just turn them on and off from the front panel without, you know, going on the back and turning things on manually. All right. Let's continue on. These guys could all kind of be on their own tracks. All right, let's add some micro pitch to this bass line. I'm going to use Eventide's micro pitch. And I just can't get enough of the sound of this just the simple bass chorus preset. It's like a really subtle widening of the sound. And I think in this track, having it a little wider is a little bit better. Let's see how it sounds in context. And then with this track right here, I'm going to add in a black hole reverb. Or actually, well, yeah, we'll keep that reverb. It's kind of subtle. I'm going to add in some Echo Boy. Oh, what if we added some Echo Boy, some delay also to that bass, since it's a slow one? We can check it out. Yeah, and I like that because it makes that loop a little bit better. I played that in live, so it seems like a much better option, I think. Oh, unless we let me see what happens if we go like this. Oh wait. got the boat going on. Add a little bit of some of like this little simple arpeggio. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just start recording this in. Hey, Sander. Hey, Toto Robin. Hey, thanks for the raid again, Sander. Right now we're working on the Moog Matriarch. Hey, Sandra, I still have your patch on here. I changed it slightly to add some random modulation. Hey, Duck Turl. Wambra, Toto Robin. Great to see you guys. Okay, we're gonna end this. All right. So I think we're done with the instrumentation. I mean, we kind of overloaded this with a lot of instrumental elements. I don't want it to get too bogged down. Too much going on. There's just one thing I gotta do, which is this thing looks like it stayed in sync. Thanks to Sanders' advice on making sure this thing can stay in sync. I was having a lot of problems with my Matriarch in terms of syncing. Okay, so let's see what we got here. This is just gonna be like a little background thing that's gonna give the track some movement. Hey, great to see everybody here. Thanks again for the raid. This is awesome. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a sample on that radio app.
A speeding car on a dark night, a fall from a high building, all the impossible to prove murder methods that have ever been used before. It was
I love this. Okay, I gotta
scared and frustrated Red.
I don't know what's happening here.
Right then.
But this radio program is called "I Was a Communist for the FBI." I mean,
people who've made a mistake, and they want to
it was
people on our side now who've seen the red
originally
side
broadcast on
like
this day in
it was my job to
1953.
protect those people, no matter how scared I was. So I stepped up and opened my big mouth.
How funny. So I'm going to call this A, May 6,
Yes, Comrade Svedik. I'd like to pull for
1953.
a minute. You have it? Okay. In the first place, I want all the comrades to know that I hate these rats who are willing to become friendly witnesses.
Okay, I'm gonna get
Any
this.
action against these people before they testify would reveal that we have a source of information close to the committee.
Quiet. Just what would you do about these traitors, Comrade Svedik?
Well, before the subpoenas are issued,
I've got a lot of reverb on here. Let me turn it off.
Some of us would remind them of the party's purposes. Others would talk about a member's obligations.
And if that fails, Comrade?
Well, if that fails, Comrade Volters, after the subpoenas are issued, is time enough for coercion.
And what we're going to do is we're going to just take this and maybe stretch it out to maybe be a little
By a smear campaign and phone calls every 15 minutes.
more obscure
day
and
night.
dreamy.
Besides, right now, we should spend our time and energy preparing our campaign against the real enemy, the committee.
Do you have any suggestions concerning that, Comrade Svedik?
Yes, if you'd like to hear them.
We would.
Well, my suggestion is to organize every group in the city in which any of our comrades are members into public opposition to the committee and its persecution.
You mean labor unions, industrial councils, business organizations, and so forth?
How
Yes,
funny.
with paid ads in all the papers denouncing the committee and its unconstitutional violation of the Bill of Rights.
You're talking like an idiot, sir.
I'm
Okay,
talking
we'll
as
get
acting
one more
district
30-second.
And I'm telling you how to organize
more
public
30-second,
opinion against the committee. Force them to
clip
stop
of
their
this.
vicious harassment of party members.
Now, Svedik, you know that we don't have enough party members in any labor union, any industrial council, any organization in this city.
Yeah,
to force
definitely.
any one of those groups to pay for ads attacking the committee.
Don't be naive, Comrade Volter. These organizations won't know anything about the ads they're supposed to be sponsoring until they've read them in the papers.
Okay.
We'll place the ads.
I don't know. I'm really liking this. Let's continue on with this
Organizations will disclaim
because I think I
Won't
can
do
use
any
this in
good.
another song.
Because the ads will be signed by comrades as members of the various organizations.
individuals.
Obviously. And like most people, Comrade Volters.
Let me
you
also
don't read
take.
the
I'm going to take a
small
quick
and up
screen grab of
advertisements. Our ads will be signed by, say, Matthew
the
Savetti, or the
name of
Independent
this, so I can go
Workers
find.
Association.
I can
no,
find
that
it
won't be
again.
the
I'm going to get
thing.
one
It will
more
to the casual reader,
grab starting from
and
here.
particularly when the Matthew Savetti is enormous.
It's kind of the
size
same
side,
sound
the
anyway.
Independent Workers Association in type 4 times that size. And the for thee so small it can hardly be read.
Okay, perfect.
With the Reds' enthusiastic acceptance of my plan for attacking the committee, I was also able to wangle an agreement to try.
Okay, so I was a communist for the FBI. Let's bring all these samples in. And we're just going to use it on the Prophet synth that we didn't use. We used kind of a lot of VSTs today because we tried to make this track a little more cinematic than we usually do. So we used some sampled instruments. Oh, you put them in the Digitac? Nice. That's on my list until they came out with that new one. It's not a digital. It's not a. I think there's a little bit of there's a sampler on the new one. I can't remember what they called it, but it's more of like kind of the electron rhythm machine. I was in the market for the model cycles because I really like FM drums. Oh yeah, the Syntac. I really like FM drums, so I was going to get the model cycles, and then they announced that. So maybe I'll save up for it, and well, I'll have to do a little bit more research on it to see if it's going to make some sounds that I would want to make from it. But I don't have any Electron gear. How do you like it? I know that the workflow is, people like it. Some people like it, some people don't. Hey, from Paris. Bonjour. Tout va bien à Paris? Je vais arriver tout de suite. Alors, si tu veux, on peut écouter un peu de choses qu'on a déjà fait. Alors, okay, so let's this is what we have so far. So our theme today is almost as warm as Honolulu. I heard it was snowing in at least in northern France, like last week. All right, so let's listen to every single part that we have so far. We recorded a lot of different parts. And again, our theme today is you are in a dramatic scene. So we're trying to get that cinematic feel. So here's our drums. This is all coming from the TR-8S. So we're using like a little bit of a 707. And we also have that Prince-like rim shot. Yeah, so it's very throwback, almost 80s. We also got a nice little arpeggio from the patch that Sander Klepper had suggested yesterday, where we wired up all of the oscillators together and used the LFO to modulate them. So I'm going to call this Sander. I'm going to use your name again. Mode Sander patch arpeggio.
In the first place, I want all the comments to know that I hate.
Okay, we also got our samples here. We're gonna have to figure this part out because we're not gonna use all of them. I think I'm gonna really stretch them out just so you hear some vocals in there. Okay, and we used the Pro 1 for a bass line. So I'm gonna label that Pro 1 bass line, and we didn't do any modulation to it. I just wanted it to kind of sound nice and chill. We have 32 bars of that. And then here's where we started getting a little cinematic. We used action strikes. So we have several different options. They all kind of sound the same, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off slow, and then we'll build up to these faster rhythms. And luckily I can visually see which ones are faster. So I'm gonna go ahead and arrange those now. And we already labeled them, so should be all good. Oh, wait, no, that's a fast one, huh? This one's a slow one. Okay, so we'll have to figure this out. I mean, I'm not gonna get too crazy with them because they're kind of just in the background. Okay, now what we started off with are these two drone parts, and actually I'm gonna group these up. So the very first one we started off with is this one right here. It's really low drone in D. We had to actually, okay. If it becomes a hit. So this one was just using Bead's internal oscillator with some with some textures. I don't know how else to explain it, but some texture modulation on there. And then we also, because Deli MVCO has a wasp coming, we use the wasp with plats. Right here, you hear these little sweet spots. And actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, I have it on, because this is kind of in the cinematic realm, I'm gonna change all of these clips to just make sure we're on complex, because we changed the tempo a bit. Okay, so let's listen to both of them at the same time. So what we did with this one, I'm gonna call this one plats through wasp through beads. This low drone is just beads. Okay, and then we've also got a few string elements. I'm gonna color this one pink, because this is the one that I really like, but maybe this one goes towards the end and it becomes like the climax of the song. We also have a slower, almost phased and filtered single note drone. And then this one's a little staccato version of that. Okay. We've got our, and finally we have our lead part, which is simply and that was using pigments. And we've already labeled that. So let's put this all together. Yeah, this is actually, we have quite a bit of instrumentation in here. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is let me listen to the vocal track real quick, and let's add.
His announcement is so violent that
let's add something. Hey, the Wizard 23, thanks for following.
His announcement is so violent that I wish every fellow traveler and parlor pink in the country could hear it. They hate the committee, of course, but their hatred for friendly witnesses is much deeper. They'd like to give them the sort of red justice that has purged thousands of innocents in the communist homeland and its satellites.
We ought to give them a trial and hang them. The report is admirable. Trial and hang them.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this clip a little bit.
We ought to give them a trial. We ought to give them a trial and hang them. The report is admirable. We ought to give them a trial and hang them.
Okay, let me crop that. And yeah, we're not going to use it all. What I wanted to do is stretch these out a bit, because a lot of those old-time radio programs have really fast speech.
We ought to give them a...
Actually, with these ones, I want these to be warped with beats, because I kind of want a little stuttering effect.
We ought to give them a trial.
Okay. And he sounds a little too angry for this track, so we might not use this, but let's see. Let's find, I'm going to bring in an Echo Boy Jr. and RC20. And I think that'll help color this. Thanks, Deli MVCO. Let's save this so we don't lose out on anything. All right, so I like this cheap tape algorithm. I'm going to go into eighth notes dotted and ping pong this. And I'm going to cut the lows. Oh, and then we also have this retro video game. Let's use this preset here called MIDI vocals. And I'm going to introduce some noise, some vinyl noise. Just a little bit. I don't want too much distortion, so actually we're not really using too much of this preset. And then I'm going to use space. I know some people don't like this, the reverb on this plugin, but I think it'll be okay. This is going to be in the background. And let me also bring the mix down. Okay, so I don't want that guy yelling, but I do like this other guy speaking. So let's deal with the samples real quick. And then we'll put everything together. It's just
we could beat them, but they were fighting to talk to the committee. We could beat them, but they were fighting to talk to the committee.
So yeah, so you can't even really hear what's going on. Hey, actual Kevin.
I know, Hero. I didn't want to buck that mob.
How's it going over there?
I know, Hero. I didn't want to buck that mob. But some of the friendly witnesses are people who made a mistake. They want to correct it. People aren't. People aren't now who've seen the red side and they don't like it. It was my job to protect those people, no matter how scared I was. So I stepped up and opened my big mouth.
This also, there is a lot here as well, but yeah, let's not get too carried away with this.
Any action against these people before they testify would reveal that we have a source of information close to the committee.
Quiet. Just what would you do about these traitors, Comrade Svetty?
Well, before the subpoenas are issued, I'd talk to them.
And if that fails?
And then let's just get rid of these last two. There's just way too much vocals. I just kind of want them to kind of fade in and out. So let's deal with that once we start putting this together. This drone, I think we'll just run this all the way through. And let's see, did we add any effects to this? No. Let's add a reverb here. Just because I think over here we're going to have to loop this part and I want it to sound pretty consistent. So we're just going to mask some of this with a reverb here. Just use a black hole. Oh, good. Moog and Oberheim. Nice. What kind of Oberheim? The SEM sounding or OBX?
And if that...
Let's listen to this real quick. Yeah, let's just make the size really big, mix it around, yeah, 50, and then, yeah, nothing too crazy. Okay.
And if that fails...
If that fails, common voltage at...
And with this one,
And if that fails, Comrade?
If that fails, common voltage after the subpoenas are issued is time enough for coercion.
Still no violence?
No. The threat of violence is enough. It's accompanied by a smear campaign and phone calls every 15 minutes, day and night.
okay, let's go ahead and let it become a part of this track. All right, so with this 16 bar, I think we don't even want to introduce any drums until at least 8 bar mark. I'm going to duplicate this, and then let's see what we can hear.
Comrade, but not...
Okay, these action strikes could come a little bit later as well.
Comrade, but not... Right.
And then I wouldn't even want our this lead to come in until we got to the break. Okay, let's see.
Comrade, but not... Right.
We could beat them, but they were afraid to talk to the committee.
And then these Moog parts don't even come in until maybe even the second verse, until the end. This is going to give us some variation. So with this one, maybe we just take everything out except for this, and we start with that 707 kick. Then after 8 bars, I'm gonna have to split this up. Then we could bring in like the closed hats and maybe some of the hand claps. And maybe the open hat as well. And actually, I want this to be kind of a dramatic beginning, so our first break won't even come until bar 40. Break 1. So let's go ahead and so everything here. And no snares. Okay, let's recolor that. Actually, this bass doesn't even come in until around here. Let's see, because we would want maybe this sample to come.
I'm no hero, and I didn't want to...
Let's make this, stretch this out longer.
I'm no hero, I know. I'm no hero, I know. I didn't want to fuck that but stuff this is a big
Hey, Hayes. Oh, sorry. Oh, man. I'm missing out on some of this chat. 8 voice. Oh, cool. I'm 3 degrees from Tom Oberheim, speaking of which, and I really need to take advantage of it. So my parents went to school in San Francisco, and they went to school with, well, one of their friends over, I think he lives in Moraga now. Apparently, he has coffee with Tom Oberheim every month. And so when he heard that I like synthesizers and stuff, he was saying, yeah, one of these days you got to come over. This was all pre COVID, of course, and unfortunately, I never took him up on that offer. I'm not in California very often anymore, but yeah, the next time I go, I definitely have to contact my parents' friends who have this link with him. It'd be cool to talk to him, but I don't even know what I would say other than I own one of his machines, the Matrix 1000, and maybe the new project that that they've announced. You were in a drama scene. Oh, got out of a meeting. Sorry. I am catching up on my chats. Mini mode. Yeah, I like Cherry Audio's plugins. Oh, cool. That's super cool. All right, let's continue on with this. So I just want these like little voices to kind of fade into the background. So we're adding a lot of reverb to that kick, 707 kick, to further accentuate that retro vibe. And then actually, maybe these strings don't even come in until 16 bars. And then these action strikes, yeah, maybe not even till here. Oh, actually, no, you know what? I like this. Okay. All right. Then we'll have a nice break over here. Take out these kicks. Okay, and then, yeah, maybe we could end the break here. End break 1. And then we get a little bit heavier with those action strikes and the Moog. Oh no, the Moog actually won't come in until a little bit later on, huh? let me add one more track because I think I want to have this come in during the break. Okay, and then this one, everything comes in, including the snare, and then we'll have a little snare roll right here. Let's work on that part right now. This one, I'm going to recolor real quick because this is going to have everything. Oops. And then our next break will be right here. Break 2. But first, let's work on this a little snare build up to start to introduce that element. So we got our snare drum right here. I don't want it to be too over the top. Okay. And then actually these action strikes could be a little bit higher in level. Oh, this is a little bit off as well. And then maybe we even change it up over here. Oh. Bring the bass back in here. Okay, yeah, that sounds cool to me. Oh yeah, and then we will bring Sanders Moog patch in there. Okay, now let's work on the second break. How about we bring this guy back in? Maybe we take out that epic string. Yeah. And then, yeah, it becomes a little quieter. But I don't want to forget to bring this back in. Let's find... Yeah, so I guess it'll just be a 16 bar break over here. Let me just put end break 2. We made this one a little bit funky. I think this is 12 bars? Yeah, 12 bar loop. Let me add another snare here to make it a couple more snares. Let's bring in these action strikes. This one's a little bit off. Maybe this one. Or actually, maybe these, this slow one again. But like a... This one will kind of fade in. So we'll add a little utility over here. Going to just bring the gain up till we get to about the middle of that. Oops. And then we'll let that kind of fade in. And then we need some... We'll let the Moog also stay in there a bit. There we go, you hear it kind of coming in. Oh, okay, and actually, I forgot, we have this, we have this part, this, let's see if this will work here. This is where we, no, we don't have to use that right away. We'll have it introduce this second break. could add some effects to that Moog, but I'm gonna keep it dry for right now. Free orchestra. Oh man, the dongle life, right? When I first started out, I was using Cubase. This is back in the day where you had these parallel. I think I still have it actually, but you had a parallel port. It was the same as your printer. It was like this big burgundy colored one, and so you had to make sure that you had a laptop that had the parallel port in the back. Back in the day, they all did, but it was just like you always had to remember to bring it, otherwise you could never launch the program. Yeah, iLock is a little bit better now because they have the software part. But yeah, like the hardware dongles were the worst. And then if you broke it, then you had to pay a bunch of money to get another one, and it was never an instant thing. But you know, I guess it's a great thing. Technology has advanced. Oh, and here's the thing. I'm gonna add in a lot of. I'm gonna bring this one in, maybe starting here. I'm gonna let this go all the way across till the end. This one too. But on this one right here, what we're gonna do is, you know what? We need to add these same effects. I should just group them. Yeah, in order to save some CPU, I'm gonna group these three and just move where'd they go? Move my plugins that are in the wrong order to the group, so it treats everything. And then with this one, I just want this to fade in towards the end, just like we did earlier. This outro. Something's off time. Oh yeah. Let's figure out the right action strike to use here. This one will be at the very end. For now, I think we'll go with this one. And this one. Let's see how this transition sounds. Yeah, we're not going to hear it in the mix. I don't mind it being a little off. Oh, wait, yeah, no, it is really off. Everything is off. Let's see, right around here. Let me loop this part. Oh. Just a little. In fact, is that what's happening back here too? Okay. Then I take it back. We're gonna need to bring in we just bring this in. And that's it. This one, the snare gets a little crazier, and then I think we're done. Yeah, let's bring in like a snare roll, like a lot. That's too much. There we go. What's Osric Tentacles? I mean, I have a feeling it does sound like a, I don't know, is that a video game? What is that? Oh, this is that flats. Okay. So I think we can, this is what we'll do on the group. We're going to just, we're just going to use our send and return tracks to kind of give it a little tail at the end. Let's just see how this... Psychic Chasm. Alright, I'm gonna have to take a listen. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut that down. Yeah, let that bass line, actually not the bass line, but the that